Dominik Mysterio's return date revealed. Nikki Bella pays tribute to John Cena. 5 things WWE got right on Raw. Unscripted moment between the Usos after Raw goes off the air. Finn Balor's promise for 2026. Let's get started. 5 things WWE got right on Raw. WWE closed out 2025 with a bang on the final Monday Night Raw from the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. And this wasn't just another episode. It was one of the strongest Raw shows we've seen all year. Big matches, major moments, and meaningful storyline progression set the tone as WWE heads into Raw's massive Netflix anniversary next week. No episode is perfect, but Triple H pulled the right levers when it mattered. From surprise returns to championship-shaking decisions, this show felt purposeful. Several moments stood out and had the WWE Universe locked in from start to finish. Here are 5 things Triple H absolutely got right on Raw this week. Number 5. Stephanie Vaquer keeping the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer walked into a dangerous triple threat against Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez, and walked out exactly how she should have, still champion. The match delivered, and Vaquer sealed the win by tossing Raquel aside and pinning Bella in the closing moments. This was the correct call. Vaquer is still building her legacy on the main roster, and dropping the title this early, especially on a random Raw, would have killed her momentum. Letting La Primera retain keeps her credibility intact and allows her reign to truly take shape. Number 4. R-Truth standing up to Gunther. Since retiring John Cena, Gunther has gone out of his way to disrespect the 17-time world champion. That finally brought out R-Truth, who confronted the ring general head-on in defense of his childhood hero. This wasn't random, it was smart storytelling. Truth's long history with Cena made the moment feel earned, not forced. Instead of throwing another name at Gunther, Triple H chose someone emotionally tied to the story, instantly making the feud more compelling. Number 3. CM Punk and Braun Breaker letting the mic do the damage. With the World Heavyweight Championship on the line next week on Raw's Netflix anniversary, CM Punk and Braun Breaker didn't need fists, they needed words. Their face-to-face promo was intense, personal, and completely sold the fight. Breaker laid out exactly why it's his time. Punk fired back with the confidence of a champion who refuses to fall. Holding off on physicality and letting the promo carry the rivalry was the right move, and it elevated the match instantly. Number 2. Penta shaking up the Vision storyline. Penta's return couldn't have been timed better. He rushed in to save Rey Mysterio from a brutal assault by Austin Theory and Logan Paul, immediately inserting himself into the Vision saga. The faction has been entertaining, but things were starting to feel repetitive. Adding Penta brings fresh energy, new matchups, and actual unpredictability. This was the spark the storyline needed. Number 1. Ending 2025 with a massive title change. The biggest win of the night came in the main event. The Usos defeated AJ Styles and Dragon Lee to capture their 9th WWE Tag Team Championship, closing out Raw and the year with a statement. Styles and Dragon Lee had a strong run, but it was time to shake things up. The Usos reclaiming the gold instantly revitalizes Raw's tag division. Jay and Jimmy heading into 2026 as champions opens the door for fresh rivalries and big-time storytelling. Dominik Mysterio's return date revealed. WWE just dodged a major bullet with Dominik Mysterio, and so did the Judgment Day. After weeks of concern surrounding his shoulder injury, there's finally clarity, and the news couldn't be much better. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dominik Mysterio will not need surgery, and the expectation is that he'll be cleared in time for the 2026 Royal Rumble. Meltzer explained that doctors are currently projecting a 3 to 4 week recovery window, making this a short-term setback rather than a long-term nightmare. While the exact return date could still shift depending on how rehab goes, the outlook is extremely encouraging. The real relief here? Surgery was never the plan. Had Dominik gone under the knife, he could have been sidelined for months, potentially forcing WWE to strip him of the Intercontinental Championship and throwing Judgment Day's momentum completely off track. Instead, he walked away with the best possible outcome from a bad situation. The alarm bells started ringing after Dominik was abruptly pulled from WWE's December 26th live event in Baltimore. He was scheduled for a mixed tag match alongside Liv Morgan against Rey Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, but was quietly removed from the card, sparking immediate concern. The injury itself reportedly happened at AAA's Guerra de Titanes event on December 20th, where Dominik took a rough DDT from his father. Brian Alvarez later suggested the landing looked like a possible shoulder separation, noting that Dominik could barely use the arm afterward. WWE acknowledged his absence on the December 29th episode of Raw, with Liv Morgan and commentary confirming that Dirty Dom was sidelined. At the time, details were limited, but now the picture is clear. No surgery, no months-long absence, and no title vacancy. Dominik Mysterio is recovering, and the Royal Rumble is still firmly in his sights. Are you relieved Dominik avoided surgery? And when he returns, should WWE ease him back in, or hit the gas and continue the Judgment Day storyline like nothing happened? Nikki Bella pays tribute to John Cena. The final episode of Raw in 2025 delivered a moment nobody saw coming, and it had nothing to do with who walked out champion. Nikki Bella stepped into a high-stakes triple threat for the WWE Women's World Championship, sharing the ring with Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. In the end, Vaquer retained the title after pinning Bella, but the result wasn't what fans are still talking about. Mid-match, Nikki shocked the crowd by locking Raquel Rodriguez in the STF, John Cena's iconic submission. The arena instantly erupted, breaking into loud "Thank You Cena" chants in tribute to the recently retired legend, who wrestled his final match earlier this month at Saturday night's main event against Gunther. That loss marked the end of an era, as Cena famously left his boots and gear in the ring, signaling his farewell from in-ring competition. Tributes have poured in ever since, and Nikki Bella added her own in the most unexpected way possible, inside a Raw main event. But Nikki wasn't about to let Cena steal the spotlight. She quickly waved off the chants, making it clear the crowd should be thanking her instead. The moment went viral almost instantly, and fans online haven't stopped buzzing about the surprise tribute and Nikki's bold reaction. Unscripted moment between the Usos after Raw goes off the air. The Usos ended 2025 on top of the tag division, but what happened after Raw went off the air is what really has people talking. The reunited Jimmy and Jey Uso closed out the final Monday Night Raw of the year by capturing the World Tag Team titles, officially becoming 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions. They defeated AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in the main event, ending a reign that had lasted a few months. With the Usos back together and proven chemistry on their side, the outcome felt inevitable. WWE history has shown time and time again that true tag teams usually outclass makeshift pairings, and this was no exception. But the win wasn't the end of the story. As the brothers made their way through the crowd in Orlando, cameras caught an awkward moment. Jey called for Jimmy to join him, clearly expecting a shared celebration with the fans. Instead, Jimmy completely brushed him off and kept walking. Just like that, the celebration was over. Both Usos headed backstage, cutting short what should have been a feel-good moment to close the year. Jey, who's grown used to soaking in the crowd's energy during his singles run, was left with no choice but to follow his brother. A strange, uncomfortable ending to Raw. And an even stranger way to close out 2025. Finn Balor's promise for 2026. On the final episode of Raw this year, Balor sat down with Byron Saxton to reflect on the roller coaster season his faction just survived. And before he even spoke, he turned heads by showing up in a suit. An unexpected look that matched the serious tone of the conversation. The year was full of shakeups. Carlito quietly exited after his contract wasn't renewed, while Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez officially joined the group, shifting its direction. Liv Morgan spent a large chunk of the year sidelined with injury, while Finn Balor and JD McDonough still managed to capture gold as World Tag Team Champions. Through it all, Dominik Mysterio emerged as the most consistently successful member of the Judgment Day in 2025. When asked about the group's highs and lows, including JD McDonough's recent absence, Balor didn't make excuses. Instead, he made a promise. 2026 is about bringing championships back to the Judgment Day. Whether it's the World Heavyweight title, the tag titles, or gold of any kind, Balor made it clear that the mission is simple: reclaim dominance. On the women's side, the door is wide open. Raquel Rodriguez came up short in her title opportunity, which could set Liv Morgan up for a major run if she's fully healthy. Roxanne Perez also remains a wild card heading into the new year. If the Judgment Day can move forward as a united force in 2026, don't be surprised if they recapture the same dominance that defined them in 2023 and 2024.